So planning to grab a Samsung Foldable this year? Well, better be ready because the Z Fold 7 is expected to launch at the same price as last year's Fold 6. Now at first glance it might feel like not much has changed, but there are some important upgrades worth noting. However, it's not all good news. There are also some compromises which will make you clear whether to go for Samsung Fold or go for other Chinese folds. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk cameras. Samsung is sticking to same triple camera setup, but this time there's a major upgrade. The Z Fold 7 is expected to feature a 200 megapixel main sensor. Now this is an entirely new. We have seen this camera before on the Z Fold Special Edition, which never made it to global markets. Still, for most users, this is the first time they will see that hardware in a mainstream foldable. Yes, past Fold models used the same camera setup for years, but despite that, the Z Fold 6 still held the edge in camera performance compared to rivals. Now, with the power of the Snapdragon 8 Elite, the Z Fold 7 is set to push that even further, with improved image processing and smarter AI enhancements. Now coming to design, recently we got a hands-on look of the Z Fold 7, and yes, it looks very familiar, especially if you have seen the OnLeaks renders from months ago. The camera layout and flash position have changed slightly compared to the Z Fold 6, and that new color it gives off serious Galaxy S25 Ultra Blue vibes. Now one of the biggest changes this year is the thickness and display sizes. Let's talk thickness first. According to recent leaks, the Z Fold 7 measures just 4.54mm when unfolded, which comes out to about 9mm when folded, a definite improvement over the Z Fold 6. But no, it's not the world's slimmest foldable as rumored. That title still goes to Oppo Find N5 with just 8.93mm folded and 4.21mm unfolded. Over the years, Samsung has been slimming down the Fold series gradually, but the Z Fold 6 didn't really improve much, and Samsung got some hate from Chinese brands because of that. So how did Samsung finally make it thinner this time? The answer is by removing the digitizer. That 0.3mm layer which supported the S Pen on both screen is gone. No digitizer means no native S Pen support, right? Well, not quite. Reports suggest Samsung is working on stylus tech that doesn't need a digitizer, similar to how Apple's Pencil works. So the stylus might now have its own battery and need charging separately. But that's not all. Samsung also increased the screen sizes on both the cover and inner displays this time. In fact, when placed side by side with S25 Plus, the Z Fold 7's cover screen finally looks usable and not awkwardly narrow. And it doesn't stop there. Samsung is now using titanium, not in the frame like the S25 Ultra, but in the backplate of the Fold 7. This backplate sits between the foldable screen and the hinge, adding both structural support and durability. So overall, it's clear Samsung has been listening. This time it's not just about a spec bump, it's about a smarter design, less crease, better hinge, larger vapor chamber for improved cooling. Now the biggest question is how good will be the battery this time? Samsung is still sticking with the same 4400 mAh of battery capacity and 25W fast wired charging, the same setup we have seen since the earlier Z Fold models. But here's where it gets interesting. Thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Elite and more power efficient display tech, we're looking at an estimated 55 minutes improvement in battery life according to early testing. In fact, a recent battery drain test done by TechChap, where the Z Fold 6 went up against 5 other top foldables, showed that despite having the smallest battery, the Z Fold 6 still came in third place and wasn't far behind the second. That's impressive optimization. Now imagine if Samsung takes it further by introducing silicon carbon batteries in future models. With current software efficiency, that could seriously change the game. On the wireless side, Z Fold 7 is expected to support G2 wireless charging, bringing 15W fast wireless charging with magnetic alignment, just like what Samsung did with the Galaxy S25 series. So that's it for today's update. The Z Fold 7 is expected to go official in July 2025 with availability shortly after. The pricing, no surprises, is likely to stay the same as last year's $1900. But if you're serious about getting one, wait for those real world battery tests, because on paper it may look the same, but real life endurance could be a different story. Subscribe and stay tuned for more updates. For now, peace out.